really so strenuous to stand for a long time, isn't it? I hope you won't mind if I sit for a while. Comfortable. Let me bend down a bit. So relaxing. Now can you tell me why it is so relaxing when I am sitting like this? Yes, because this time this much is the contact area, which is more. Hence I am exerting less pressure, and that's why it's so relaxing. Now if I sit like this, then I have reduced the contact area. Now this time only this much is the contact area. That means this time I am exerting a bit more pressure, but still it's comfortable. Now what if I stand? So now since I am standing, then this time the surface area of my feet is the contact area. Now which is less. That means I am exerting more pressure this time, and that's why it's not so comfortable for me to stand for a long time. Yes guys, in today's session we are going to see the concept of pressure and also some cool applications of pressure. So keep watching. Welcome back students. So students, in today's session basically first we will recall the definition of pressure, then we will see the effect of area on pressure, and finally we will discuss some daily life applications of pressure. So let's begin the discussion with definition of pressure. So guys, as you know that pressure is the force per unit area. So let us consider some surface of area A, and let's say that some force is acting on this surface and that force is F. Then we can write that pressure P is equal to F by A. Now when we have come across this expression, let me ask you one question. Suppose that I am placing a brick in this way. Okay, so in the first case I am placing the brick vertically, then I am placing it horizontally. So let me show it practically. So consider this book as a brick. Okay, so now in the first time I am placing the brick or this book like this. Okay, so vertically, and the next case I am placing it like this. Now you have to tell me in which case the pressure will be more. So obviously in the first case the pressure will be more, because we have seen that P is equal to F by A. Now since A is in the denominator, so if we decrease area A, then the pressure P will increase, and exactly that thing is happening in the first case. Now in the second case the contact area of the surface area is more. So in this case A is increased, that's why the pressure P will decrease. So now let's talk about some applications of pressure, and the first example is the pointed end of a nail. So I am sure that you must have seen the nail. Okay, so let us consider this block and nail, and let's say that we want to insert this nail into this block. What will you do? Yes, we will use a hammer and then hit the nail. So in this case we will use the hammer, hit the flat end of the nail, and because of that this nail will go inside this block. Now in this case, if we carefully look at this nail, then we will see that there is one end which is very sharp. So this is the sharp end and the other end is flat or blunt. Now this sharp end has very less contact area, and because of that it exerts more pressure, and that's why this pin or this nail will go easily deep into the surface. So that's the application of pointed end of a nail. Now let's move for the next example, and that is the sharp edges of scissors. Now you have seen these scissors, right? What we do with that? We cut some objects. Now the scissor has two sharp edges. Now these sharp edges have very less contact area, and that's why they will exert more pressure, hence it is easy to cut the objects using these sharp edges. Now let's move on to the next example, and that's the broad tires of tractors. Now these tractors we use in agricultural field or land. Now this land is very soft, but this tractor is so heavy. Now if we are running the tractor on an agricultural land, then the common tendency is to sink inside this land. But we can prevent it. How? You can see that this tractor has some broad tires. Now these broad tires will have more contact area, and because of that it will exert less pressure, so it will not sink into the land. Now let's move on to the next example, and that's the caterpillar wheel of army tank. Have you seen the army tank? Let me show you. So this is the army tank, and this tank we use in some sand area or in the desert area. Then what will happen? This area will have some soft land, and because of that the natural tendency is to sink inside the land because the tank is so heavy. But we can prevent it. How? You observe that this tank has the wheels which are not very regular wheels. These wheels are placed on a belt which has a caterpillar-like structure. Now because of this caterpillar-like belt, it increases the surface area, and that's the reason the contact area is more, hence it exerts less pressure and prevents the tank from sinking. So students, the final example is very relatable to you, and that's the broad strap of school bag. I am sure that you guys always carry your school bag while going to school, right? Now you must have seen that the school bags have some broad straps. These straps are broad because that increases the contact area, and more is the contact area, less pressure will be exerted, hence it will put less pressure on your shoulder, and that's why it is easier to carry the books and other things inside this bag, right? So you won't feel that your bag is too heavy to carry, right? Alright, so guys, that's good for the day. Now before wrapping up, let us quickly revise whatever we have learned today. So today, first we have talked about the definition of pressure. Then we have seen that if we increase the surface area, then the pressure will decrease, and vice versa. And finally, we have discussed some daily life applications of pressure. So guys, that's all for today. I'll meet you in the next session with another interesting topic. Till then, stay tuned with us, and most importantly, keep rolling.